You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. You've hid your fury and kept it in. But it's time now, you ignite and turn to embers. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings and rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
Electric Boogaloo.
You see the truth behind the veil, and you know that they're just looking for attention. Oh, you don't let their ruthlessness prevail. Oh, it's time now, light your fires for ascension. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings and rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
Bittersweet and I'm walking slow. Sensitive, feel the afterglow. Looking for things that I can't control. Fear from my past, cause it always shows. Do I wanna try? Can I let it go? Running from the past, wanting to be sure. Chaos in my mind, constant deja vu. But every time it comes back to you. Whoa, I'm still falling. Whoa, but it tastes bittersweet. Whoa, I keep on falling. Whoa, I like the taste of it.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Game Week 4 Q&A stream. So good to have you guys already in the chat. How's everyone doing? How's everyone feeling about Game Week 4? There's plenty to discuss coming to next Game Week, so we thought it could be beneficial for you guys just to run a Q&A, answer plenty of questions that you guys have, and clear up some thought processes. Sport Forever, hello mate, thanks for coming in. Yes lads, yes, it's good to be streaming. Hello, good morning everyone. What's up mate? How's it going? I bet that I have the best ever wildcard team from Nuisance. Let's have a look, mate. Drop it in the chat. Anyone know if Duffy will keep playing? It looks to be that he's going to play the next couple of matches, unless some other Brighton defenders do come back from injury. Hello, Liquidity, mate. How's it going? How you doing? Abdo, hello, mate. Sport Forever, hello once again. How's it going, lads? If you guys have any questions, just drop them in the chat. We're just going to be mainly answering questions today. Here is our squad at the moment. As you can see, we haven't used a wild card yet. We've only made one transfer to the team. We have saved up 2 free transfers, so what's most likely going to happen is Barnes and Ings are going to depart the squad. Should I play Jota in a 5 midfield or DCL in a front 3? I'd probably go for DCL in a front 3, to be honest. He's had some nice underlying numbers, and Jota's starting minutes are not the most confirmed. He's going to play the next couple of games, but after that, I'm not too sure. Is Son still a good option? At the moment, I don't know about Son because his underlying numbers haven't been very good. He scored 2 goals. His second goal against Watford was very lucky. And the Spurs are playing very defensively this season. I was hoping the Spurs would play more attacking with Nuno coming in as the manager, but it's stayed very defensive. So I think if you're going for Spurs assets, the defensive options will be better. Robertson came off early last night. You think he picked up a knock? I haven't really been paying too much attention to the European qualifiers. If anyone has any information on Robertson's injury, or whether it is an injury or not, let me know. Do I go for a 3-4-3 or a 4-4-2? Both are very good formations. I think they're 2 of the most popular formations. At the moment, we've got a 4-4-2, as you can see, with Obafemi being that striker option. We are going to look to switch to a 3-4-3 though over the next couple of weeks. And I think the 3 forwards does allow for slightly more flexibility. I think 3-4-3 is their best option now. Yeah, I do. I think 3-4-3 seems to be the best formation at the moment. So yeah, as I said before, we still have that 1 free transfer. So we're most likely just going to get rid of Ings and Barnes because they've not been the best so far. Despite Ings getting points, Barnes has been very underwhelming. And in terms of capitalising on fixtures, this man here has got not too many players have got better fixtures than Adama Traore at the moment. And his underlying numbers have been class as well. He's just got to finish. He's going to be elite. For forward options, Danny Ings out. I'm either looking to bring in Calvert-Lewin or Bamford. If Calvert-Lewin can't recover from his injury, then I might bring in Bamford, but I think Calvert-Lewin's probably going to be the better choice if he does play. What do you think of Wolves' defence? I think it's probably better than their attack at the moment. What do you think of Ayling for Semedo? Yeah, I think the Wolves' defence has been very good so far. They've been very unlucky to concede the goals they have. Obviously, a penalty against Spurs, a goal from Greenwood for Manchester United, which could have gone in, but was just missed a save by Jose Sarr. And then the Leicester goal as well was a very low XG shot. I think Vardy flicked that one on nicely. So I think a Wolves defender, if you are wildcarding, then I think a Wolves defender is 100% necessary because I do think they're going to be getting clean sheets over the next few weeks. I think Watford away, there's potential for a clean sheet. Brentford, Southampton, Newcastle, even Aston Villa as well, all potential for clean sheets. Benrahma, Rafinha or Traore? Well, at the moment, we've got Benrahma in the squad. I think Benrahma's still good. He's only had 1 blank in Game Week 3. I think a lot of people are sort of overlooking him just because he blanked last week. I think he's still a very good option. And West Ham's fixtures are very nice as well up until Game Week 10. Rafinha's also good as well. He's obviously got Liverpool Game Week 4. If I could pick 2 at the moment, I'd probably go for Benrahma and Traore. Traore is a bad finisher. Yes, he is. He's got to work on his finishing, but I think it's a matter of time before he starts taking his chances. And I think against the worst of teams, he should be able to put his chances away. Which 5 mil defender or below do you think is better than Ayling or Semedo? I doubt there's too many better options than Ayling or Semedo below 5 million at the moment. Maybe Sofal at 5. He's still got decent fixtures, a decent assist threat. But I think Wolves and Leeds have some very nice fixtures coming. I'm not too convinced about the Leeds defence. The Leeds defence hasn't really improved that much. And I think Ayling doesn't really offer too much attacking potential. Compared to... saying that also, Semedo doesn't offer the most attacking potential either. This is my team. What should I change? Sanchez, Trent, Shaw, Ayling, Tanganga, Bruno, Salason, Greenwood, Benrahma, Antonio, subs for Simicast, Femi. That's a fine team. I think the only thing there is just shore up the bench a little bit more. Maybe Simicast out for a Duffy or Livramento who's actually going to play. Because if someone in your starting lineup doesn't play, then you're not going to have anyone come off the bench. I'm willing to take a -4 hit. Have you already used all your transfers, or do you still have free transfers to use? Joining your league. Cheers, mate. Thanks so much. Alien Sports, hello once again. Thank you for tuning into the live stream again. Kane or Lukaku? I'm thinking Lukaku at the moment. Kane hasn't had the best start to the Premier season. Obviously, he missed the first game, but I think Lukaku looks to be more in form at the minute. Is Semedo nailed? I do think Semedo... He's not nailed because obviously we've got Kijana and Hove does get a couple of starts, but I think out of the Wolves fullbacks, I think Semedo is probably the most nailed. Obviously Marcel's played every game so far, but I know he may get some minutes as well. You have one free transfer. I mean, a team's looking good at the moment, so I may just save the transfer, honestly. And then you go for two. You got 2 free transfers next week. Maybe you can go Bruno out for bring in a Ronaldo instead of a Scarlett or an Obafemi, and then get rid of Bruno. Bring in a 6 to 7 mil midfielder. Could be the play. Thoughts on Trincao as a differential? He got talent and a better finisher than Traore. Yeah, I guess so. Trincao's looked very good so far, but with Daniel Podence coming back from injury for the Wolves, I think Podence, if he's going to take minutes off anyone, to beat Trincao. But he has looked decent. I think I've seen somewhere that he may have slightly higher. I can't remember if it was extra XA than Adama Traore. But I think Adama's looking so threatening. Just from simply from the eye test, Adama Traore is looking unreal. So I think that's why I'm leaning towards him. And he's proven himself in the Prem before to be able to get assists and goals. Filtered by XG. Yeah. Trincao, XG 0.63, XA 0.17. Adama Traore's got slightly better underlying stats than Trincao, but obviously Trincao's only 5.9, I believe. Is Cedric Suarez a good option considering Arsenal fixtures? I guess not a bad choice. I don't know. Obviously Bellerin's left. I'm not too sure about the Arsenal defence at the moment. They look very average. I think if I'm going to go for any Arsenal defender, I'm liking Kieran Tierney. He's had a lot of attempted assists. He's had one of the most attempted assists for defenders so far. So I think if you're going to go for an Arsenal defender, probably Tierney. Do you think Salah will play for Egypt? I saw somewhere that he's actually travelled to Egypt to play for Egypt, which means I'm assuming he has to quarantine. Whether he'll play or not, I'm not sure, but you think if he's left that he'll play. 4 -4, Son for Jota and Lukaku for Ings Tony. Yeah, it's not a bad play, I guess. I would probably be looking to get rid of Son. I wouldn't bring Son in. I was thinking of either replacing Tanganga with Marcel, replacing Obafemi with Ronaldo Lukaku, and then replacing Fernandes with Gilmore Brown. What do you think I should do? I would leave Tanganga at the moment. I wouldn't necessarily transfer him out. Replace Obafemi with Ronaldo Lukaku is a good play, and then replace Fernandes with... I'd probably look to go Ronaldo over Fernandes, or yeah, I guess Lukaku over Fernandes as well, not a bad play. What's your thoughts on Varane? I think there's better Manchester United defenders than Varane. Obviously, he had a good week in his game week 3 match. He got an assist, which was quite lucky, but if you're going to go for any Manchester United defender, probably Luke Shaw. Trincao almost scored. Yeah, that's true, but at the same token, Traore almost scored as well. So I think I'm slightly liking Traore more based off the eye test. What are the chances that DCL starts next week, and thoughts on Bamford going forward? Yeah, so that's the sort of decision that we're trying to make at the moment, who to replace for Ings, whether it's DCL or Bamford. At the moment, I'm leaning towards DCL. I'm not going to leave out on that transfer for a little bit. Just make sure DCL is fresh to go for game week 4, closer to the deadline. And then if he's not fit, then probably Bamford. Against Man U, blocked off the line by Wan-Bissaka. Yeah, that's true. That was very unlucky. I think that's just Wolves' season so far. They've been unlucky to have 0 goals, and also unlucky to concede 3 goals. 3-5-2, Sanchez, Arnold, Shaw, Reguilon, Salah, Jota, Greenwood, Son, Torres, Calvert-Lewin, Antonio. Subs, still Marcel, Livramento, Obafemi. Yeah, very nice team. I like the team. Traore is 25 years old and only scored 8 goals so far. Greenwood scored more goals than that before he was 18. That's true. There's no doubt that Adama Traore has not got the best finishing, but if he could finish, he's the fastest player in the Prem, one of the best dribblers in the Prem, if not the best dribbler, and the strongest player in the Prem. If you could just add finishing to his game, he would be incredible. But I think once Jimenez starts lifting his game, Adama will get plenty more assists. I'm from Egypt and he'll play for sure. Well, I'm assuming Salah's going to play if he's gone on international duty. So maybe it could have shown my position. Do you think Fernando Marçal is an option? Yeah, being a Wolves fan myself, Marçal, I would think he would be the preferred left-back option, but he will lose minutes occasionally. So I think if you're going for a 4.5 Wolves defender, it may just be better to play it safe and go with Cody, because I know he's going to play every single game. Ronaldo or Lukaku for long-term? That's a tough decision. It's very hard to tell now. I think you just got to see how Ronaldo goes. In terms of bonus points, I think Lukaku will get more bonus points because Ronaldo's going to be taking a lot of shots that are off target, such as long-range shots. I think at the moment I'm sort of leaning towards Lukaku for long-term because of the fixtures from game week 7 till essentially a 12. I think it's pretty much all like good until then. If I just have a look at Chelsea's fixtures here. Game week 7, about game week 7 to 12, they got elite fixtures. So I guess Lukaku for those fixtures there. Has to be DCL or Jimenez as your third striker. Yeah, 100%. That's 100% what I'm thinking at the moment. My team is very similar to yours. I took out Barnes and put in Gray. Yeah, not a bad play either. There's a lot of players that you can downgrade Barnes to for that 6 mil price tag. Even Rafinha, if you wanted to go Rafinha now. But I'd probably hold off Rafinha for game week 4 because he's playing Liverpool. What about a Wolves defender for the upcoming games? Yeah, 100%. I think a Wolves defender could be definitely worthwhile going for. And they've been unlucky to only get 0 clean sheets so far, actually. I feel sure it was going under the radar. Thoughts? Well, in terms of his starting minutes, he hasn't started any games yet, Ben Chilwell. If he plays games, then he'll be good. But at the moment, he hasn't played any games, so it's hard to tell. I would suggest Jota as your last midfielder to head Firmino will be out for weeks. Yeah, that's true. Jota could come in. I'm just not too sure. Obviously, we can go for Jota, but if we do upgrade Barnes to Jota, then we're not going to be able to afford Fernandez out and then upgrading Obafemi. So if I just show here, if I show the transfer plan, right? Bring in Traore. Or any 6 mil midfielder, doesn't necessarily have to be Traore. And then instead of Danny Ings, we're bringing Calvert-Lewin. That leaves us with 3.3. Fernandez out. Obafemi out. And then we could go any midfielder. So say we go for Rafinha at 6.5. And then we have 13.3 mil. So we can get any forward in the game essentially if we do that. So that's what we're thinking at the moment. So if we do go for Jota instead of say Traore. Obviously, Jota will probably only get starts for the next couple of weeks. So we go Jota in for Traore. That's 11.7. So that actually blocks us off out of Cristiano Ronaldo. And I want to have the option to be out of getting Cristiano Ronaldo. So for that reason, maybe stay away from Jota. As good as Benrahma has been so far, I can see Fornell starting to outscore him in the next month or so. That's hard to tell at the moment. It's obviously early days. They've obviously got very good underlying numbers. Both of them, actually. I think The West Ham attack's been very good so far. Obviously, they've scored plenty of goals. So I think there should be both. Both should be very good options. Wait for Ronaldo to see what happens. If you have Bruno, keep him for this week. Yeah. I'm not going to transfer out Bruno, especially considering we have the Barnes and Ings issues at the moment. I think keeping Fernandes in the team is probably the play at the moment. To wait to see how Ronaldo goes and then go from there is probably the right decision. Reece James over Trent, 100% this season if they play the same minutes. We'll have to see. I mean, Trent offers so much more attacking potential. I think Chelsea have better clean sheet potential. But we'll have to see. Obviously, Reece James is going to miss game week 4, so I'm going to hold off him at the moment. Tackle taken slowly says wildcard is Sanchez, Begovic, Duffy, Reguilon, Marcel, Shaw, Trent, Alan, Troy, Rafinha, Stella, Barama, Antonio, Ronaldo, Bamford, and with 1.6 more in the bank. Improvements? I wouldn't necessarily say there's any improvements you can make to that team. That's a very nice team. Obviously, you could go for differential players for the same price as Traore or anyone like that, but I think I do rate that team. Would you go for Reguilon and Lukaku or Calvert-Lewin and Trent? That's a tough decision. I think Reguilon and Trent's points, that's tough. I think I'll probably go for Calvert-Lewin and Trent because Calvert-Lewin's got better fixtures than Lukaku at the moment. And then you can maybe switch to Lukaku later on in game week 7. One thing I'd say though, Jota's XG plus XA per 90 is higher than Sell's. If he's guaranteed to start against Palace and Brentford, surely he's a must-own for now. Yeah, that's true. His underlying numbers are absolutely incredible. And if he can start in those games, then it's good. But with the amount of issues we've got in the team at the moment, I want to be able to have a player that's going to play for longer term than just 2 weeks. But if he continues to start, then he's one of the best players in FPL. Yeah, that's a good point from Caleb. Good point. If I need to take a 12-point hit to make the transfers, then should I wildcard? It's tough. I think at a 12-point hit, obviously you don't want to take a 12-point hit, so maybe a wildcard at that point. I think in terms of the wildcard limit, you want to be making at least 5 changes to the team. That's normally my cutoff personally. So if you can not make as many transfers this week, if they're not all necessary, then maybe hold off making them. Rafinha in a back 4 or Duffy in a back 5. Rafinha in a back 4, 100%. Gray's underlying numbers don't look good. No, that's true. His underlying numbers aren't the best. He's obviously got 2 goals so far. But I think in the long term, Calvert-Lewin will significantly outscore Gray. But Everton still have some nice upcoming fixtures, so you maybe could cash in on some goals despite having not the best XG. So for my team, what would you do? It is this: Sanchez, Trent, Shaw, Ailing, Tanganga, Bruno, Salah, Son, Grudben, Rama, Antonio, Foster, Simicast, Scarpa, Femi. I'm not really liking Son at the moment, to be honest. I think there's going to be better Premier options than him. So if you go, depending on how many free transfers you'd have, I'd hold Son this week and then look to move him out after that and then maybe bring in a premium forward, because I think having a premium forward, especially in a 3 forwards formation, if not just 2 forward formations, fine. I think having 3 premium forwards is a lot more flexible because you can go Lukaku to Ronaldo or Ronaldo to Lukaku or even Kane as well. Because I feel like at some point, everyone's going to have at least 1 premium forward. Would you go for Benrahma on a wild card? If not, who would you replace him with? I'd probably go for Benrahma on a wild card. I wouldn't see why not. He's a great start to the season. Are you considering wildcarding this week? At the moment, we're probably not going to wildcard because we can do it. We've saved up 2 free transfers, so we can probably do it with transfers. Thoughts on Saka and how likely is Amartey to keep his place? Well, obviously, depending on whether Vestergaard recovers from his injury, then I wouldn't say Amartey's going to start. It simply relies on Vestergaard coming back because Vestergaard's the one that will take his place. Let's see. No injury, 7% chance. If anyone has any information on the Vestergaard injury, whether he's going to be able to return or not, let me know. But I don't think Amartey's going to be getting too many more starts. Wish we could play 5 strikers this season. Yeah, fair enough. There's so many good striker options this year. And they've all been very high scoring so far. I don't see the glamour for sure. Everyone was going off of his Euro form. Pre-season, plenty of defenders giving better returns. If you want a United defender, then surely Aaron Wan-Bissaka. If I could go for any United defender, it would definitely be Luke Shaw. It's just dependent on whether you like the United defence or not. United haven't looked the best so far this year, but neither is Shaw, to be honest, in terms of his attacking potential. But Newcastle at home, game week 4 is fine. West Ham is okay, it's not the best fixture. Villa at home's decent, and Everton at home's decent. Then after that, Leicester, Liverpool, Spurs, City. I'd probably get rid of Luke Shaw game week 8. If you're looking for a wildcard in game week 7, then I'd probably get rid of the United assets. If you're looking for a wildcard game week 15, then 100% bring him back in. But I think maybe for the short term from game week 8 to 11, it could be worth going without him. Greenwood or Jota? That's a tough decision. If Jota's going to play, then maybe just Jota. But I think Greenwood should be starting for longer than Jota should be starting for, if that makes sense. Benford needs to come in after Liverpool fixture. Yeah, I think it's necessary to have at least one Leeds player after the Liverpool fixture with their great fixtures. What are your thoughts on my team? Sanchez, Trent, Holgate, Williams from Norwich. Yep. Salah, Rafinha, Barama, Guerrero, Ronaldo, Lukaku, Antonio, bench, Steer, Allen. Yep. That's a class team. Triple premiums. I like it. It's a very good team. Greenwood and Jota pretty much same-ish. Either is good. Yeah, 100%. They're both very good options. They produce very similar numbers. They're almost identical in stats. If you wildcarded now, what would your team look like? I haven't really. There was a couple of wildcard drafts we were thinking about. The main one was actually in our wildcard draft video, in our most recent video. The wildcard draft that we would have gone with is probably the first one. I can't remember specifically off the top of my head what that draft was, but if you want to check that out, you can. I'd probably go for still 2 premiums. I'll just make the gist of it here. If I wildcard now, it'd be Lukaku, Calvert-Lewin. No Bruno. Bring in Rafinha instead of Bruno Fernandes. Bring in Traore. Or any 6 mil. It doesn't necessarily have to be Traore, but I'm just bringing him in for the sake of it. It'd be something like that. If I wanted to, I'd probably get rid of Luke Shaw. And then I could go for a Chelsea defender like Rudiger. Obviously, it'd be ideal to have Reece James in, but it looks something similar to that, and then maybe upgrade a Marty to another 4.5. So we go Ailing here. And then we go Veltman out. 5.7 left, so we could even go for Semedo. Off the autocorrect. That'd be something like what the team would be. But obviously we're not going to be wildcarding at the moment, so that's not what the team's going to be like. This is what the team's like at the moment. Barnes and Ings are in the team, but we're going to be looking to move them on 100%. Would you do Antonio to Bamford in a few weeks, considering Europa League will be starting soon and Leeds great fixtures? Yeah, there's always important to keep an open mind. Just because Antonio's made an elite start to the season, if he has a fixture swing or he's going to be out for Europa League, then there's no reason why you shouldn't get rid of him. Torres is the best value play in the game at the moment, but it is Pep Roulette. Yeah, that's true. We could bring in Torres instead of Barnes. So yeah, we could bring in Torres instead of Barnes and go for Torres over Traore. But with the Pep Roulette, I've just moved off Mahrez as well because of the Pep Roulette, and I'm just not liking the anxiety associated with the Man City rotation. Out of Rafinha and Son, who should I trade next week? Around to get 4.54 to DCL. I'd trade Son. I'm not liking Son at the moment. He's been lucky to get 2 goals so far. And his fixtures... What are the Spurs fixtures like? So they got Crystal Palace away, it's a nice fixture. Chelsea at home's difficult. Arsenal away is okay. Villa at home's decent. Newcastle away, it's alright. West Ham away is difficult. Man United difficult. I'd probably look to get rid of Son, to be honest, and keep Rafinha. Lukaku captain for game week 4. Yeah, 100%. Cody or Marcel... I'll probably go for Cody. If you're going for a 4.5 always defender, I'll probably go for Cody. Thoughts on bringing in Jimenez? If I could bring in any Wolves attacker, it'd probably be Traore. Jimenez has taken a lot of shots, but he's only had 1 shot on target, and just from the eye test, he's looked a bit off at the moment, Jimenez. His first touch has not been the best, and I think Traore's getting in plenty of runs in behind. Love Jimenez from now. Yeah, if he can turn his shots into goals, then any Wolves attacking asset be decent. But I think Traore at the moment slightly better value. Saka thoughts as a differential. I'd probably stay away from Saka at the moment. Still aren't looking the best. I think there's better value options at his price. Antonio, Son, Fernandez, Salah for captain. At the moment, I'm thinking either Fernandez or Salah. I've got my captaincy on Fernandez because he's got the home fixture. I think now with crowds back, it could be worthwhile prioritising home fixtures. Put in the chat as well who you guys are captaining for Game Week 4. Are you prioritising home fixtures or are you backing in the away games as well? Also, guys, can we try and get the stream to 50 likes as well? We've got 150 people in the chat right now, only 19 likes. Let's try and get that up to 50. These versus Cats this week. Good luck, mate. Cheers. Yeah, hopefully the Cats get the win. Pookie Party for Wildcard. Not personally. Not personally. I think there's better players at this price. Ronaldo or Lukaku on a wildcard. On a wildcard, 100%. Well, I put Lukaku on my wildcard team, but I think if you're going to get rid of Fernandez and you're going to go for United asset, maybe Ronaldo, and then just go to Lukaku in Game Week 7. And then maybe even go back to Ronaldo in Game Week 15. You could rotate them quite nicely. Captaining Stella, yeah, good call. Rudiger or Shaw on a wildcard. Probably Rudiger on a wildcard. Arnold and Calvert-Lewin or Lukaku and Ben White. On a wild, it's difficult. I think I'd look to bring in Lukaku slightly later. So maybe Trent and Calvert-Lewin. Captaining Ronaldo or Salah. Yeah, good call. Will Ronaldo start? I think so. If he's fit, then he's going to start. And I think he will be because he's gone back to the United squad. Jota, yeah, definitely Jota's a good pick. Yeah, quite an even vote in the moment on who's wildcarding in Game Week 4. 52% say no for wildcard. If you guys haven't voted, pop it in. I'd be interested to see what you guys are doing. I've got Tony and Son out for Lukaku and Trincao for the next few weeks. Yeah, not a bad play. Amati, best 4.0 bench option. I don't think so. I think Duffy and Livramento looks to be better. Should I remove Salah and get Basuma and remove Antonio and get Ronaldo? I definitely wouldn't remove Salah, even if he's not playing for Game Week 4. I think he's still going to be good after that. Going against the grain this week, going Ings to Jimenez. Not a bad play. Really happy with my team. I'm currently 87k, decent start. Yeah, that's an awesome rank, mate. Well done. Marcelo or Semedo, money no issue. Semedo. If money's not an issue, then I think Semedo. Ranked around 35k, and I'm not wildcarding this week. Well done, mate. That's a class rank. And if you don't have to wildcard, it's better, I guess. You pre-order FIFA 22. I haven't. I've bought FIFA for the last 10 years at least, and I don't know if I'm going to get it again because I always play it for like 2 weeks at the start, and then I just don't play it again. Let me know if you guys are actually going to buy FIFA. Who else buys FIFA, plays it for 2 weeks, and then the game's dead? Greenwood, Jota, or Torres? It's a very tough decision. They're all class options. If I could choose maybe Jota. What do you think? Do love Wolves fixtures going forward? Yeah, 100%. Why are people taking this book seriously? Cheers, mate. Okay, mate. I actually rate the Supercoach content. Don't rip into us like that. Actually get around your Supercoach videos as well. Should I get Varane over Arnold? Probably not. I accidentally used my free hit chip. Is that bad? Yes, it is quite bad. I gotta be honest. Using a free hit this week's that's pretty bad, mate. Who should I replace Ings with? Lukaku or Jimenez? Probably Lukaku. GK Sanchez, Steele, defenders, Trent, Shaw, Duffy, Smoto, Ailing at mids, Salah, Adama, Pogba, Gray, Brownhill, forwards, DCL, CR7, Antonio. Class team. Kind of a bit harsh. Yeah, 100% a bit harsh. I'm wildcarding with Ronaldo and Lukaku. It's class. The double premium forwards could prove to be good. Have you thought about bringing in Mount and Bamford for Barnes and Ings? I'm looking to bring in Traore and Calvert-Lewin, or Rafinha, Calvert-Lewin, or even Torres, Calvert-Lewin at the moment. Bruno or DCL? It's tough. I'd probably go for DCL at the minute. I think Bruno's going to be significantly decreased with Ronaldo coming into the team. Then Trent Robertson to Fred, the extra 0.5. I'd probably still hold Trent. I think Trent's going to be the better option. Is Salah the best long-term goalkeeper? Great fixture until game week 14. Yeah, it could be a good shout. I definitely think Salah's going to be a good shout. Is Salah playing against Leeds? Well, he's just travelled to Egypt, so I think he does have to quarantine for game week 4. So I think he's not going to be playing against Leeds, to be honest. I'm debating Troy or Jimenez. Jimenez has better stats than Adama, but Adama seems to get through more often. Yeah, that's true. Adama's got the highest XG in the Wolves team at the moment. He's got a 1.5 XG. Jimenez XG 0.77. Adama's XA 0.61. Jimenez XA 0.51. So I think Adama slightly trumps him on stats. So maybe Adama. Will we use Wildcard? I'll probably hold off the Wildcard at the moment because we've got 2 free transfers saved up. So just go someone in for Barnes and then Carvalho in for Ings. Trent Essential if we have Salah, Ronaldo and Lukaku. Or we'll go for Matip, Semedo, Tierney. I think Trent's still essential. I love Trent so much. He's such a good choice. Trincao or Gray? It's difficult. You could go either one, to be honest. I wouldn't necessarily recommend either one. Who are you captaining? I'll show you the team, how it's lining up at the moment. We've got the captaincy on Bruno Fernandes. Salah's on vice captain. Even though Ronaldo's come in for Manchester United, I do think Fernandes may be the better option. Let me know who you guys are captaining as well, because I think it might be fairly split between Salah and Fernandes in a minute. Jimenez or Bamford or DCL? I think DCL is probably the best option. Rafinha, Bamford or both? If I go for one, I go for Rafinha, but both, I guess, is not a bad play either. Is Mane playing this game week? Someone let me know if Mane has travelled to play for his international team. If he has, then he's going to have to quarantine. Sissoko or Allen long term? Well, it could go either way. I think Allen's price may be set to rise soon, according to Fantasy Football Fix. So I think maybe Sissoko 4.5 could be slightly better, but either way, any 4.5 midfielders is going to do roughly the same as each other. Sanchez, Steele, Trent, Ayling, James, Livramento, Semedo, mids, Salah, Rafinha, Jota, Adama, Sissoko, forwards, Ronaldo, DCL, Antonio. Nice team, mate. Is it worth getting Fernandes out for Ronaldo on a wild card? If you're on a wild card, then 100% getting Ronaldo instead of Fernandes, I think. I'm captaining Ronaldo. Yeah, good call. If you've got Ronaldo in the team, I think he's going to be a great captaincy shout. Yeah. Home game, one of the best players in the world. Hunt's captain him. 100% agree. Obafemi and Bruno out for Ronaldo and Smith Rowe and or for Lukaku and Traore. Probably Lukaku Traore. Just for the better squad depth. Bruno or DCL? I think it's difficult. Probably Bruno still. Traore and DCL or Jimenez and Jota. Traore and DCL, I reckon. Are you playing Wildcard? At the moment, we aren't playing the Wildcard because we saved up free transfer, so we're all good. Marcel for Ayling. I wouldn't necessarily transfer out Ayling, but I think it could be worthwhile going for both a Wolves and Leeds defender if you're going for the Wildcard, which I can see 51% of you guys are going for at the moment. Make sure you check a vote on the poll, because I'd be interested to see what people are doing. It looks very 50-50 at the moment, who's playing their wildcard and who's not. Ronaldo for Ings, Traore for Fernandes. Yeah, it's a good play. Yeah, he's not going to play as I signed him. Fair enough. Wildcard team, Sanchez. Oh, keep going, mate, keep going. Benrahma or Rafinha. Maybe Rafinha with the upcoming fixtures could be worth it. Semedo and Marcel at the back, or Semedo and Tierney. Semedo and Tierney, probably. I wouldn't go double Wolves defense. I think one Wolves defense is plenty. Rafinha or Allen, who to bench? 100% bench Allen. Ayling or Cody? Cody. If you're going to go for either a Leeds defender or a Wolves defender, I'd probably go for a Wolves defender because they've got better defensive stats. Why keeping Bruno still worth 12 million? That's true, but we've already made a transfer we've got 2 transfer plans at the moment of Ings and Barnes, and we have to get rid of those guys. So it's going to be the number one priority for getting rid of at the moment. So I'm not going to take a hit to bring in Ronaldo instead of Fernandes, because I don't think Ronaldo is going to score 4 more points than Fernandes. I think Fernandes is still score okay against Newcastle at home. I have Trent, Salah, and Ronaldo. Should I buy any more premium players? No, I think that's fine, mate. That's a good team at the moment. Bruno to Salah with a hit. If you don't have Salah, I think it's probably worthwhile bringing him in, 100%. Is Williams a good pick? Yeah, I guess he's another 4 million defender that could be a good pick as well. In terms of actual points returns, he's not going to be the best, but I guess for play minutes, it's still good. Is Jimenez surely banned for 5 days? If yes, then Antonio and others should also be banned. I don't think Jimenez is banned for 5 days. I'm not sure. If you have information on that, let me know. Alien Troy or Livramento and Rafinha. Maybe Alien Troy, because I think that's better squad depth. Also, lads, while we're at it, let's try and hit 5k subs by the end of the stream. We're so close. Can we push the big 5k mark? It'd be a huge milestone to bring it on stream. It'd be so good. We're only 50 off at the minute, so if you guys could get down and hit the subscribe button, try and hit 5k on stream, that'd be so good. Son or not? I'd probably go without Son at the minute. I think there's better premium options than him. Hi, what apps and websites can you use to get stats? Well, we use Fantasy Football Fix as one of them. There's plenty of other good ones. Who Scored, SofaScore, Understat. There's a million websites that are good. I have Son and Region. Should I wildcard now or walk? I think I'd probably hold on to the wildcard. If you only got 2 problems with your team, hold on to the wildcard. I think if you're going to have a wildcard, you need to make at least 5 changes to the team is my cutoff. Wildcard team, Sanchez, Steele, defenders, Ailing, Cody, class team, mids, Salah, Torres, Jota, Rafinha, and Sissoko, forwards, 2 minutes. Yep, good team, mate. Taking -8 for Bruno and Kane to Ronaldo and Torres, Adama. It's an aggressive play, especially taking a minus hit of 8. That's quite a lot. But if you back it in and you back it in, Jimenez or Adama. I think Adama just at the moment. Adama needs to be able to finish, so that's the main thing. If Jimenez, we know Jimenez can finish. He may just need a couple more games to adapt because he's looked a bit off it recently. Should I start Begovic over Sanchez? Because if he doesn't start, they will swap and Brentford looks better than Burnley. Not a bad point, actually. I haven't actually considered that, what I'm going to do with Begovic at the moment. Brighton still have a decent defence, I guess. Jota or Torres. Maybe Jota, because I feel like Torres at some point will start getting rotated. It's difficult to tell. If he keeps playing, then 100% Torres. Mexico Football Association saying they will penalise the Wolves and suspend Jimenez for 5 days. Alright, that's interesting. So I think that just makes Adama slightly more tempting, to be honest. Fernandes going to score this week. Yeah, watch everyone transfer out Fernandes and he'll still get points. Lukaku, Ronaldo, Antonio, Salah, Trincao, Torres, Sarr. Nice team. Very nice team. I think it'd be worthwhile having Salah in there as well. I think it's necessary to have Salah. I wouldn't be transferring out Salah just for 1 week. But if Ronaldo starts taking pens and free kicks, then Bruno isn't worth the money. At some point, I will definitely move out Fernandes, probably in the next 3 weeks. Because, yeah, he's going to lose free kicks and pens. What's up with Son and Region? I have them both. Yeah, I maybe keep Region, but I'm not liking Son's underlying numbers at the minute. Salah is a must. Yeah, 100% Salah's a must. 100% agree. That's what I'm thinking. Bruno worth 7.5 or 7 takes the pens. Yeah, well, that's true. Bruno's value would go down significantly wait, technically it goes down a lot if Ronaldo comes into the team and takes pens, because it's 100% worth spending the extra 0.5 for Ronaldo just for the penalties. I think you're a Wolves fan. Do you know which Wolves 4.5 Wolves defender is nailed on? Yes, we are Wolves fans. I think Cody's the most nailed on Wolves defender. Marcel's obviously played every game at the moment, but I think Ain't Nori might take minutes off him. Sanchez, Trent, Christensen, Marcel, Salah, Troy, Rafinha, DCL, Antonio, Ronaldo on a wild card. So tempted to get Jimenez, though not sure what to do. Yeah, I think that's a good team. I wouldn't bring in Jimenez over DCL, Antonio, or Ronaldo at the moment, so I think that's a good team. After which game make the ranks start to matter? Obviously, our ranks not got great at the moment because we had Mane initially instead of Fernandez, and Fernandez got 20 points in the first week, which just put our rank in the bin. And Barnes was not a good pick either. I think it's hard to tell. After game week 5, I think you want to have a rank at least in the top 500k, and then just keep pushing to try and get inside top 100k. But it's still early days, so I've full confidence that we'll easily get into the top 100k. We're trying to make it top 100k easily. Cody or Marcel. Cody, I can't afford DCL. Is Bamford a good shout? 100% Bamford's a good shout if you can't afford DCL. He's probably one of the better 8 million or so pound forwards. Richarlison or Jimenez. Probably Jimenez over Richarlison. In Game Week 7, which players from Chelsea are coming into scored? Most likely Lukaku, and maybe a Chelsea defender as well could be worth it. And maybe a Chelsea defender instead of Luke Shaw could be the play, because United's fixtures kind of turning Game Week 7. And then maybe bring a Chelsea defender in and bring in Lukaku for Obafemi. What's wrong with Son's stats that you don't like? Spurs haven't looked the best in terms of the attack so far this season, and Son obviously got a very lucky goal in Game Week 2, and Game Week 3, and there is a lot better premium options than Son. It's 100%. He's not even in the top 3 for premium options at the moment. Turney, Shaw, Marcel. Which two of them should I choose? I think probably Shaw, Marcel. I think it's necessary to have a Wolves defender, and I think Shaw, despite a lot of people getting rid of him, he's still got Newcastle at home Game Week 4. Are you going to wildcard? At the moment, probably not. Christensen, a good shout. Yeah, 100%. I think it's going to be worthwhile getting a Chelsea defender in. Who you choose doesn't necessarily matter. Would you get rid of Tanganga as I signed Emerson? Yeah, I think Emerson's going to be preferred over Tanganga, so it could be worthwhile moving him on. If you have more urgent transfers, then prioritise those, but yeah, I think it could be worthwhile moving him on. Who is the best 5 mil keeper? Exactly 5 mil, probably Jose Sarr. Is it necessary to have Ronaldo or Lukaku? If you're wildcarding, then 100%, yeah. At some point, whether in the next 2 weeks with your transfer plans, I would definitely look to bring in at least one of them. Young, Sufal, Christensen, which two? Sufal, Christensen. I have 2 free transfers and a wildcard. Do I get 2 free transfers? If you use the wildcard, you get unlimited transfers if you use the wildcard. You only get 1 free transfer after the wildcard, so if you have 2 free transfers set up and you wildcard, then you only get 1 free transfer the week after that. Bruno to Salah for a hit. I would only bring in Ronaldo instead of Bruno, really. I mean, obviously, it's going to be worthwhile getting rid of Bruno in the coming weeks, but I think you should still have Salah on your team. Tanganga should play this week, by the way. Don't force him out if you don't need to. Yeah, fair enough. Is it better to have Troy or just Wolves defender? I mean, it's necessary to have a Wolves defender. It's up to you whether you want to go for a Wolves attacker at the moment. I think you've got to start seeing them actually put the chances in the back of the net before you start backing them in. 3 premiums or 2. I think it's personal preference. I think at the moment I'm leaning towards 2 premiums. Would you go Sa and Samato or Sanchez and Samato? Probably Sanchez and Samato. I don't think it's worthwhile going for double Wolves defense. I think it could be worthwhile spreading out the defensive assets. Besides FPL, what else do you do for a living? Well, at the moment, we don't have a job because I'm still in school, mate, to be honest. So, at the moment, it's just making YouTube videos and streaming for fun, really.
Playing football. Oh, it's like it's something fun that we do. I mean, playing football's a vibe, honestly.
What kind of start do you think Ronaldo will have versus Newcastle, West Ham, and Villa? Goals, I reckon, for Ronaldo. I think he'll be scoring goals. West Ham away is a tricky fixture, but West Ham's defense hasn't been the best so far. But I do think Ronaldo will score goals. It's not going to take Ronaldo long to adapt to the Prem, I don't think. He's already at that level, if not above that level for sure. Who's better, Sa or Sanchez? Probably Sa over the next few weeks. Sanchez is still decent at 4.5. Would you suggest Jimenez for this game week? I think he's going to miss this game week, so maybe not. Is this a good team? Sanchez, let's go back up there. Sanchez, defenders, Trent Shaw, Marcel, midfield, Salah, Rafinha, Parameter, and Calsom. Forwards, Ronaldo, Antonio. Yep, it's a good team, mate. What country are you from? We are from Australia. Antonio, Lukaku, forget me, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 4, 5, 6, probably Antonio. And then go for Lukaku after that. I think this is probably the play. Is Cresswell a good shout or a different 5.5 defender? If you're going to go for a West Ham defender, I personally prefer Sofal. But West Ham hasn't actually been great defensively so far. I don't think they've kept a clean sheet this season. No, they haven't. So, obviously Cresswell, he's recorded a goal, but it was a very lucky goal. It was a missed cross, so probably Sofal at 5 is better. Imagine Bruno outscoring Ronaldo. Yeah, it'd be funny if Bruno outscores Ronaldo because so many people have brought in Ronaldo over Bruno. But I think Ronaldo should outscore him. Do you watch any of the Australian League football? Absolutely not. That is a disgrace. I'm not going to try and hide it and say Australian football is good. It is terrible. I'd rather just watch the Prem or any other league.
The standard of A-League is it's usually either like a 5-2 game where it's just shocking quality, or it's 0-0, and the amount of chances people get is just ridiculous, and there's zero finishing, zero technical ability. It's just absolutely shocking.
Is this a good team? Sanchez, Still, Trent, Marcel, White, Christensen, Duffy, Sal, Torres, Jota, Barama, Mendy, Ronaldo, Antonio. Yep, good team, mate. A-League is shot. Yeah, it's a joke. It's 100% a joke. Rudiger or Varane? I think Rudiger. Jimenez probably won't miss this game week. Wolves have only allowed players to go to amber listed country. Isn't played for Mexico yet. You have to see. Ronaldo and Mendy 4.4 in for Prisa and Bruno. Good move. Yeah, if you have 2 free transfers, I think that is a good move. Up the Central Coast Mariners. Honestly, I haven't even been following, so I don't know who's good and who's not. Thoughts on Ange? He's decent. I guess he's decent. Jota or Ferran Torres for next 3 games? Probably Jota because he's going to be getting starts. Alonso or James for game week 7? Yeah, I do think probably James personally because I think Chilwell and Alonso may start to rotate minutes in a few weeks' time. Are you at uni? No, not at the moment. Still in school. Ferran Torres for game week 5? Yeah, good choice. What about White in game week 4? It's tough with the Arsenal defence at the moment. I think Wolves defence, if you get a Wolves defender for 4.5 or around 4.5, it's probably better. Is Dennis a good pick? He's good value. He's good value. Oh, can I have a look at I'll pull up his underlying numbers real quick. Trent and Sofal or Robertson and Shaw? Should be Trent and Sofal, I reckon. Emmanuel Dennis, XG 0.75. I still at a decent XG. and a 0.25 XA. So it's decent stats. I mean, it's good value. I think there's going to be forwards for 2 million more that will get a lot more points than him, but he's good value. You stuck in lockdown too? Yes, we are. Tierney, Cody, or Samodo White? I think Tierney, Cody could be better. Tierney's a very nice attacking defender. I don't think Samodo offers anywhere near the attacking potential of Samodo. Sorry, yeah, Samodo doesn't offer the attacking potential of Tierney. Should I go for 2 Spurs defenders? I'll probably only go for 1 Spurs defender. I was going to go for a Spurs defender. Traore has great underlying numbers. He absolutely does. He's just got to turn it into goals. That's always been the biggest thing with Traore. Will Ronaldo start? I believe he's going to start. Jota, Ronaldo, Sarr, Traore in for Bruno, Mahrez, Tony for a hit. Jota, Ronaldo, Sarr, Traore in for Bruno, Mahrez, Tony. Yep, good play. It's probably worth getting rid of Mahrez now if you still have him. Thoughts on Gundogan for the next 3 weeks? If you back him into play, then he's a good choice, but I just don't know personally if he's going to play. Why don't you bring in Ronaldo into your team straight away? Because we want to get rid of Barnes and Ings. Now, that's the two changes that we want to make at the moment. Start Barnes versus Man City or Livramento versus West Ham. Probably Barnes versus Man City. I still wouldn't expect him to get points, but I wouldn't expect Livramento to get points either. Australians are good in cricket. Yeah, we're decent at cricket, I guess. Pepperlet is the problem, yeah, 100%. Will Wilson and DCL start? That's I assume DCL should be fit to start, but I'm holding off transferring him in at the moment. I'm probably going to transfer him in instead of Ings. I'm just holding off. Sanchez, Trent, Tierney, Sofal, Salah, Jota, Rafinha, Barama, Ronaldo, Antonio, DCL. Great team. FPL Flair, I believe you're a Wolves fan. Who should I go for, Marcel or Cody? Cody, I reckon. Marcel may miss some minutes coming up, and I think it's better to play it safe. Cody will start every single game this season. He's hardly missed any minutes in the last 4 years we've been in the Prem. 3-4 years we've been in the Prem. 3 and a bit seasons now. How long should I keep Ferran Torres? I guess till he starts getting rotated. I mean, until he starts getting rotated, then you can get rid of him. Fernandez out, Ronaldo in. If you want to, that's fine. I think at the moment we've got bigger problems in the team than Fernandez to Ronaldo. If your team's looking fine, then I think Fernandez to Ronaldo is not a bad play. What if Bruno is still on pens? I doubt he'd be on pens because Bruno gave the penalty to Ronaldo for Portugal. And I think Ronaldo will essentially bully Fernandez off the pens anyway. DCL versus Bamford for next 4 weeks. Maybe just DCL because I think he's got better underlying numbers than Bamford. And you could probably just go for Rafinha instead of Bamford for Leeds. Antonio, Jesus and Ronaldo are probably the best up front right now, correct? If Jesus continues to play, then yeah. Antonio and Ronaldo, 100%. DCL could also be good and Lukaku also could be good. Brandon Williams to start and get some returns. He will start. Whether he gets returns is another thing. What do you and your brother Edso want to do when you leave school? Do you want to answer the question?
I don't know what Jack wants to do. I think something in business, perhaps. But I want to go into commercial aviation, and perhaps professional football up until my gap year, and then pursue aviation from that point on. I'm a goalkeeper. If anyone who wants to know.
Gone are the days of Gilchrist, Hayden, and Clark. Yeah, I guess so. But we've still got decent young talent coming up. Still got Pukowski coming up. Ronaldo and Jota in. Fernandez, Ings out for -4. Good play, I reckon. It's definitely a good play. Is Rafinha missing game week 4 and 5? He's missing game week 4. Actually, no, he's not, actually. No, he will, actually, because the lead's been slapped with the 5-day suspension for Rafinha. Ronaldo might respect the club more than personal achievements. I think Ronaldo's still... He's an elite player, and he's probably my favourite player ever. But he's still selfish, and he's still going to take a lot of shots. And he'll still be on pens and free kicks. Is Rafinha missing game week 4? I think he's going to miss game week 4. I don't know about game week 5, but I think he's going to miss game week 4. Is Gundogan a necessary sell at the moment? I guess until he starts being rotated more, because obviously De Bruyne is still not back. He started every game, so I wouldn't say he's a necessary sell. I mean, and until he starts getting rotated out the team, at that point, sell. Is it worth taking a -4 for changing Wilson to DCL? I don't know about taking a -4. Obviously, DCL is a good choice, but Wilson's been in good form as well. Sanchez, Semedo, Livramento, Trent Shaw, White, Jota, Salah, Antonio Ronaldo, Bamford, Rafinha, and Formula Keeper. Any thoughts? Yeah, great team. Very good team. I think you want to have a 4.5 keeper starting. I'm assuming you mean Formula Keeper on the bench, but that's a good team. What are your thoughts on Tanganga now that Emerson has arrived? I do think Tanganga will be the bench option now that Emerson has arrived. Traore or Sarr? I'm leaning towards Traore because he's got better underlying numbers. But both are good choices. Did you vote for Antonio for Player of the Month? I didn't put a vote in for Player of the Month, but I think Antonio definitely deserves it. Bench Ayling or Barnes next game week? Ayling. I'd bench Ayling. Do you wish to visit other countries? Well, we actually used to live in Singapore, so we're able to visit a lot of countries from there because it's so close to everything. But it's kind of, obviously with lockdown at the moment, it's not ideal. What do you reckon? Robertson, Shaw, Reguilon, Jota, Gray, Benrahma, Son, Lukaku, Antonio Ronaldo. Great team, mate. Ferran Torres. We could bring in Ferran Torres for Harvey Barnes. It's a decent choice. I guess until he starts getting rotated, he's going to be a good player, regardless of the fixtures for Man City, because Man City are the difficult fixture. Cody or Duffy in the first team for game week 4. Cody, I reckon. Mahrez, what to do? I'd probably sell Mahrez because it looks that I don't see Jesus or Ferran Torres getting dropped in the next couple of weeks because they've both been in such good form. So probably sell Mahrez to free up the money. What are your thoughts on Jota now that Firmino is injured? Yeah, I think it makes Jota a lot better option because he's going to start probably the next 2 games, which are nice fixtures for Liverpool.
IRL or FIFA? Look at how good that is, though. So good.
Irrespective of price between Mane and Jota, who would be better FPL wise? I can check the stats for. I mean, Mane had some really, really nice stats against Burnley, which lifted his overall stats quite a lot. Per 90 stats, I think Mane may have him slightly. Mane has actually got the highest XG in the Liverpool team at the moment. Per 90 XG, Jota beats him by 0.04. I guess you can't really say irrespective of price, right? Because price matters a huge amount in FPL. Maybe for, I guess overall XG you take Mane, but for price you take Jota. Who should I captain in game week 4? Ronaldo, Lukaku, or Son? I'd probably go for Ronaldo. I think it's the best choice. Do Barnes, Rafinha, and Ings to DCL. Yeah, that's similar to what we're thinking. We're probably going to go either Barnes to Rafinha, Torres, or Traore, or Sarr, and Ings to the DCL. Matip over Trent. I'd take it for that money. That's not. I can see a lot of people doing that move, and I think it's not a bad play, but I think Trent offers too much attacking potential. Bruno to Traore and Ings to Ronaldo for -8. I wouldn't take a -8 to do that. I wouldn't take a huge minus hit just to bring in Ronaldo instead of Fernandes. You can maybe just wait a couple of weeks and then do it for free. Is top 100k good? 100%. If you can get top 100k, that's incredible. That's inside the top 1% of managers. When is the right time to take the wildcard, late or now? It purely depends on your team. If you have plenty of changes that you want to make in your team, then now is a good play. I think it's either now, game week 7, or game week 15. I think are the 3 times to do it, game week 7 or game week 8. Also, guys, thank you so much for hitting 5k subscribers on the stream. It's been awesome. Thank you so much for everyone tuning in. It's been such a great stream. And it's class to hit 5k subscribers on the stream. Thank you so much to everyone that has subscribed. It's been a grind. It's been a long time, so it's awesome to see. Thank you so much, guys. That's class. Ings for Jimenez or Lukaku? Probably Lukaku, I reckon. It depends on what you're planning on doing. 100%. I'm looking at game week 7 to 8, but my team is sorted for the next 4 weeks or so. Yeah, so I think once we make our transfers of Barnes and Ings out, and then we go. So let me just show you. So we go Traore. Let's Trincash. Go Traore in for Barnes, and DCL in for Calvert-Lewin. Then that's the game week 14 most likely. Game week 5 hold transfer. Game week 6 2 free transfers. Fernandez out and either Lukaku or Ronaldo in. And then that's the team sorted essentially for game week 7 until whenever, and then maybe we could go game week 15. If there's more urgent changes that need to be made before then we can do that. But that's a sort of short-term transfer plan at the moment. Obviously, that's going to be subject to some change. Bruno and Ings to Greenwood, Traore, Torres, and Ronaldo from -4. Yep, that's not bad. How long is Firmino out for though? It could be a couple of weeks, I reckon. A couple of game weeks, probably 2 game weeks. Bamford a good pick, yeah, 100% Bamford's a good pick. I think for any 8 mil forward, I think I just prefer DCL, but I don't think Bamford with the nice upcoming fixtures is good. Ings to DCL for a -4, I do think that is worth it. What do you think of Sancho for Greenwood? I think Greenwood will still hold his place, so I'd keep Greenwood in the team. And Sancho hasn't been the best so far for United. He looked terrible against Wolves. When would you say Greenwood will lose his place? I think when Rashford comes back is going to be when Greenwood loses his spot. We play Xbox, PlayStation. We play Xbox.
Very controversial.
Not frequently. We don't play Xbox frequently. But yeah, it's obviously a controversial topic, but we play Xbox. I saw Bruno and brought Ronaldo. Good idea. Yeah, I can see a lot of managers are doing that. And that's not a bad play. Bamford or DCL? Probably DCL. If DCL can hold off his injury and be fine for game week 4, I think DCL. Is having Lukaku and Ronaldo a risk? In terms of their personal points, no. But in terms of being able to have an upgraded another player in the team, and then maybe. But it's, I think as long as you've got Salah in there and then go for either Lukaku or Ronaldo, and Lukaku or Ronaldo should be generally okay. Who to captain? At the moment, we've got the captaincy on Fernandez. But I think Salah's going to be a good choice as well. If you have Ronaldo, then I'd probably go for Ronaldo. If you have Salah, if you can choose Salah, Fernandez, Lukaku, Ronaldo, I'd probably go Ronaldo, number 1 captaincy priority, Lukaku number 2, and then either and then either Fernandez or Salah 3 or 4. Should I take a -12 or wildcard? I wouldn't preferably want to take a -12. If there's 4 transfers that you absolutely have to make, then maybe thinking about wildcarding, but I don't think there's going to be 4 transfers that you have to get rid of. DCL and Fernandez, or Ronaldo and Jota. Most likely Ronaldo and Jota, I'm thinking. Should I start Begovic over Sanchez? It's a tough decision. It's a very tough decision. I've looked at the team. We've got both Begovic and Sanchez. Burnley at home, Brentford away. I could go either way. Everton's clean sheets are not the nicest. Not gonna lie. So maybe still back in the Brighton defense. Captain Ronaldo or Salah? I think Ronaldo may be a better captain than Salah this week. I think home fixtures now should be prioritised with the crowd being back. I've already used wildcard, but it kicked me out of the game. So yeah, that's class. Gotta love a bit of good FPL luck. My transfers: Ings to Ronaldo, Tsimikas to Semedo, Bruno to Jota for a -4. Nice, that's a good play. Would you do a -4 to get Ronaldo and Jota instead of Fernandez and Ings, and why? I guess that's a good play. I wouldn't. That's not a bad play, I think, because we want to get rid of Barnes and Ings, is why we're not getting in Ronaldo for Fernandez. Kilman or Cody? Definitely Cody. Son or Jota over the next 3 weeks? I think Jota actually might outscore Son over the next 3 weeks because if he's going to start the next 2 games. Is Begovic guaranteed to start? If Pickford doesn't play, then Begovic is going to be the next best keeper. So I'm thinking so. Jota for next 3 weeks, yeah. Good call, Mike. Can you show the best wildcard, your opinion? Yeah, sure. I'll just do it real quick. So go these 2 out. Shaw out. Barnes. Okay. So probably go Cody, Ailing. Would I correct again? Rudiger, this could be any Chelsea defender. If you're going to wildcard now, I mean, so you could go Reece James and just have him on the bench, but I guess Rudiger's going to start. Fielders. Calvert-Lewin, and then 12.7. I guess go for Ronaldo. That'd be my wildcard team. They could obviously there's a lot of players like Traore. You could go for anyone at his price. Rafinha could also go for anyone at his price. If you want to go for Bamford instead of Calvert-Lewin, if you wanted to go for any 4.5 defender instead of Cody Allen, you could. Also Rudiger at 5.5, you could go anyone else at his price. And maybe you want to downgrade Sofal as well. Why Cody over other Wolves defenders? Because is that the only name that's popular? No, you can definitely go for Semedo. I think Semedo or Cody are the best 2 options. It's just that at Cody's price, he's better than Marcel and Kilman. 4.5, Cody's the most guaranteed starter. And I'm not too sure if Semedo is going to get that many attacking returns. So for 0.4 less, maybe Cody's the best value. Show transfer in Duffy and Ferran Torres for Tsimikas and Mahrez. I have 1 free transfer. Yep, that's probably worth it. If you have 1 free transfer, then I go for Ferran Torres instead of Mahrez. Are you worried about Benrahma losing his place? No, not personally. I don't think Benrahma's going to lose his place after the start to the season that he's had. It'd be very harsh benching Benrahma. Why? True. Actually, I forgot about Brownhill. Why Brownhill with Alan Sissoko? So yeah, if I had that choice, I'd probably go for Sissoko. So I didn't see Brownhill there. I was thinking about the other players. That'd be the 10 probably at the 4.5 choice. I'd go for Sissoko. Is Benrahma a good shout? I guess I still think if you have him in the team already, then I'd leave him. I don't know about transferring. I guess he's still not a bad transferring. I'll probably hold him, I guess, for the next Southampton. It's not bad. United at home is not necessarily a bad fixture either because he's playing at home and United have looked okay. Leeds away is nice. Brentford at home is also nice. If he loses his spot, then obviously he's not going to be a great shout. But how is Cody better than Marcel? Isn't Marcel playing wing back? He has the highest crosses so far. More clearances too. That's true. He's the same price, but I think Marcel may be getting rotated a little bit. He's not fit enough to play every game. I do think he's quite injury prone, and I think Nori may take some minutes off him. I'm not too sure how many assists Marcel's actually going to be able to produce. So I just take the higher chance of starting and get the clean sheet points. Also, Cody can get himself a couple of bonus points as well. Can you see previous season, 7 bonus points. He's got 7 bonus points and 7 bonus points his last 2 seasons, which is okay. Bamford or DCL? I'll probably go for DCL. Why out with Shaw? Because if you're wildcarding now, let me get Shaw. Let's get Ronaldo's fixtures so you can see Shaw's fixtures. If you keep Shaw in your wildcard team now, Newcastle at home is a good fixture. West Ham away is a bit tricky. Villa at home's a good fixture. Everton at home's a good fixture. But then Leicester, Liverpool, Spurs, City. That's not the best. And then if you're looking at Chelsea's fixtures, from that same period, from now until game week 12, Chelsea just have better fixtures. And if you're going for a wing back, or just essentially a full back, I think Reece James is probably going to be better. Assuming obviously he's not going to play game week 4, but after that, I think he probably will outscore Shaw from game week 4 to 12. So that's probably that's why I go for a Chelsea defender over Luke Shaw. Cool, thanks mate. No worries. Torres good shout for game week 7. If he can keep his starting place, then he's a good shout. But I think City will have players coming out from injury as well. Marcel's played all 3 games. I know he only gets if Marcel gets injured. That's not necessarily true. I've seen Aït-Nouri preferred when Marcel's been fit. So obviously Marcel has played all 3 games so far. But Aït-Nouri will take minutes off him. 100% guarantee that. Should I keep Mount or replace him for Traore? I guess Mount still made a decent start to the season, so I wouldn't necessarily transfer out Mount if you already have him. I wouldn't transfer him in, but I wouldn't transfer him out either. Replacements for Barnes. So you can go for Traore, you could go for Sarr, you could go for essentially any. Rafinha, 6.5 is decent. You could go up to Torres at 7.1 is also decent. Is Rafinha going to play the next game? I think he's going to get slapped with a ban. I believe Leeds are going to get slapped with a 5-day ban. Cody hasn't assisted in the last 3 seasons. Yes, I know. He's not there for attacking threat at all. He's just there for the clean sheets. I think he got himself... Did he get himself 1 goal? He did. He's got himself 1 goal as his attacking returns. I actually remember that goal. He scores from a corner. Obviously, that's the only time he gets into the box. But that's fine. Yeah, he's not going to score you any attacking returns. He's just going to get clean sheets. Salah being overlooked as a captain. Leeds fixtures looks good. True. That's true. I think home fixtures is why I've gone with Fernandes as the captaincy at the moment. But I think Salah probably is getting slightly overlooked. What transfers will you go with for a team like that? Which transfers will you go 5 to 8? Oh, sorry, I've literally just got rid of the wildcard team, my bad. Replacements for shape other than Rudiger. So going back to the transfers from game week 5 to 8, I'd probably get rid of Ronaldo in game week 8 and bring in Lukaku. Be the transfer that I make. And then in between there, I just accommodate for injuries and stuff like that. Why are Leeds getting banned? Because Rafinha was supposed to play for Brazil, but Leeds didn't let him go. Are you wildcarding? No, not at the moment. But if I was to wildcard, that would have been the team that we would have gone with. Should I go Rafinha to Torres or Benrahma to Torres or Bruno to Torres? I'll probably go Bruno to Torres, to be honest, and then try and bring in a premium forward. Mount or Havertz for this game week? I wouldn't transfer any of them in if you don't have them. If I could choose one, maybe Mason Mounts, because he's got points on the board. Ronaldo or Lukaku. Ronaldo from game weeks 4 to 7, and then switch to Lukaku. It's probably the play. FPL Phillips, mate. Hello, how's it going? Thank you for coming to the chat. Sorry, I bet you already said, but what are your transfer plans, mate? Yeah, so transfer plans are these 2 lads out, and either Torres, Sarr, Adama, or Rafinha in for Barnes. That's a lot of choices. And then DCL in for Ings. Those are going to be the 2 transfer plans. Thoughts on Jimenez? He's a decent shout, but I think maybe Trincao or Adama could be better options. So Rafinha not playing this week? I do not believe so. Thoughts on my current team? I use my wildcard. Sanchez, Semedo, Dean, Tierney, Cody, Williams, Traore, Benrahma, Salah, Torres, Basuma, Lukaku, Antonio, Ronaldo. Nice team. Very nice team. Who are you using as a captain? At the moment, we've gone with Fernandes as the captain. Sal's on vice captaincy. But yeah, I think I just like the Newcastle at home fixture more. Wolves fixtures are great. I'm bringing him in. Fair enough. Ronaldo start against Newcastle. I believe so. Isn't Diesel injured? He's got a muscle injury at the moment, but I think he should be able to recover for game week 4. If DCL's ruled out through injury, what are you thinking? Yeah, good point. If DCL's ruled out through injury, then I'm probably going to go for Bamford. 7.9. He's going to be the backup option if DCL's injured. And then, obviously, that would probably rule out Rafinha as an option instead of Barnes, because I wouldn't want to go for the double Leeds attack. I'll probably just go for the one Leeds attacker at the moment. But yeah, that'd probably be what happens. What is the ban going to be for teams such as Leeds who didn't let their players go? It's a 5-day ban for the player that they didn't let go by FIFA. For, I believe it's Fair Play or something like that. Is Traore or Trincao more nailed? I think personally Traore's more nailed. I think Podence, if Podence is going to replace anyone in the Wolves team, it'd probably be Trincao. But I think they're both still feeling nailed at the moment. Son, Salah, Antonio, Ronaldo as captain. I'd probably go for Ronaldo as captain. Veltman will play Matchday 4. Yeah, he will be playing in Matchday 4, I believe. He played a couple of minutes in Matchday 3, which I was surprised about. He played 45 minutes in Matchday 3. So he should be good to go for game week 4. Shaw is over underperforming. I do agree. People going off his Euro form. That's true. There was a lot of hype. I actually didn't have him originally in my team, but because his ownership was so high, you're sort of forced into going for him. I love Pereira at 5.5. Yeah, he's actually also another good choice at 5.5 if you want to go someone instead of Luke Shaw. I think there's a couple of good 5.5 defender options, so you could go for Pereira or you could go for Rudiger. That's not a bad play. Is size worth the 0.5 of Cody? I don't think so. I think it's just worth going for Cody. Have you considered Jimenez, and what makes you prefer Bamford? Yeah, so if I'm going to go for any Wolves attacker, I'm probably leaning towards Traore and Trincao because Jimenez has only taken one shot on target so far, and just from the eye test, I can see Jimenez looks off. His touch is off. He's always off balance, and Traore's making a lot of runs in behind. So if I'm going to go for Wolves attacking player, I'd probably go for Adama, and then go for Bamford instead. You could go for either Jimenez, Rafinha, or you could go Bamford, Traore, and I'm slightly leaning towards Bamford, Traore. Pogba, Jota, or Traore, Torres. Thanks for the suggestions. Either are good options. I'm liking Jota for the next 2 weeks, personally. I'm on my wildcard. Should I transfer out Sean Region for Rudiger and someone else? I already have Cody. If you're on your wildcard, then it could be worthwhile getting rid of the United defenders. Because from game week 5 to 11, essentially, it's not great for United. From a defensive standpoint, especially. So it could be worthwhile getting rid of Luke Shaw. If Salah doesn't play, who is a good replacement? If Salah's only going to miss 1 week, I wouldn't get rid of him because it's going to be painful trying to bring him back in. With Firmino injury, I go for Jota. Yep, good call. You can go for Trincao, he's cheaper than Adama. That's true, but I think Traore's got better underlying stats and Podence may replace Trincao. If he's going to replace anyone, he's probably going to replace Trincao. Gray or Benrahma in for Barnes? Probably Benrahma. When is Firmino back? He should be out for 2 weeks, I believe. Should I get Bruno to Torres and Ings to DCL with a -4? I go DCL in for Ings. I wouldn't necessarily transfer out Bruno Fernandes against Newcastle at home. what we do with my current team, I have 2 transfers: Sanchez, Begovic, Trent, Shaw, Amati, Tsimikas. I'm assuming that means Benrahma, Grealish, Salah, Rafinha, Benford, Antonio, Tony. I'd probably get rid of Tsimikas at this point. And otherwise, that's not a bad team, I guess. I wouldn't necessarily make other transfers. It's fine. Reguilon, Spurs look solid. Laporte are better options than Shaw. Yeah, I'm not liking Shaw. Just because he's in the team at the moment, I'm not saying that I like Shaw as an option at all. And he's personally, at 5.5, Luke Shaw is not the best option. There's no way at 5.5 he's the best option for his price. But because we want to get rid of Barnes and Ings at the moment, Luke Shaw is not the top priority transfer out, so for that reason he stays in. But there's so many better £5.5 million defender options than Luke Shaw. Bruno and Ings, Ronaldo and Troy. Yep, good play. Torres or Jota, really confused. Probably Jota for the next 2 matches. Son and Matip or Jota and Trent. Probably Jota and Trent. What is the biggest hit you've ever taken in your FPL career? I think 2 years ago I took a -8. I don't really take more than a -8, to be honest. -8 is pretty excessive. So I think that's because I had 3 players injured for a long time at one point. I think one of them was a red card as well. Which 2 out of Greenwood, Jota and Torres? Probably Greenwood and Jota. Guys, we are going to end the stream in the next couple of minutes. We're aiming to end the stream at around the next 4 minutes or so. So if you guys have any final questions, drop them in the chat now. Otherwise, if we can't answer your questions on the live stream, then message us on either Twitter and Instagram, and we will try and answer your questions. If you guys want to drop your teams down below as well, in either Instagram or Twitter, we'll try and respond to them as well. Also, guys, we're on 90 likes for the stream. Can we try and push it to 100 likes before we end the stream? That'd be class. Answer some last questions here. Best defender under 5.5. Already got Cody and Rudiger. It's a difficult decision. I think Rudiger is probably the best 5.5. Maybe a Spurs defender could be decent. Sofal could be decent at 5. Varane, good shout. I'd probably go for Shaw if I'm going to go for a United defender. Not necessarily saying I would go for Shaw. Then transferring James. Yeah, I think having a Chelsea defender then is going to be good from going 7 onwards. Ronaldo, Fernandes, or Ronaldo, Salah. Ronaldo, Salah, 100%. Greenwood's still good, right? Yep, he'll still play. Mings, 5 mil. I don't trust that Aston Villa defence. Wan-Bissaka over Shaw. Sarr or Benrahma, probably Benrahma. Greenwood or Traore. Maybe just Greenwood. Lukaku, Matip and Cody. Or DCL, Trent and Semedo. It's difficult. Maybe DCL, Trent, Semedo. Thank you so much for the 100 likes on the stream, guys. Thank you. That is class. Once again, if you guys have any further questions, we're going to finish up answering questions for the stream. If you have any further questions, drop them on the Twitter or the Instagram. We will try and respond to as many as possible. Thank you so much for everyone tuning into the stream. Also, drop a like if you guys enjoyed the stream and subscribe if you enjoyed it as well. And that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.